welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are taking all those little quirks you see in your dog, adding a massive stack of technical research, and giving you the shortcut to what's really going on.
Exactly.
We are diving deep into the most complex and I think arguably the most adorable machine you own, your dog's brain.
Ding.
So let's unpack this.
Our mission today is, well, it's pretty clear. We're moving completely beyond just simple observation. We're taking 7 common, often really quirky canine actions and explaining them entirely through the lens of neurology, evolutionary biology, and social chemistry.
We want the why.
We want the why at a molecular level, not just the what.
And the relevance for you, our listener, is just fundamental. I mean, by the end of this deep dive, you are going to interpret every single tail wag, every frantic kick in the backyard, every little twitch during sleep so differently.
It's about fluency.
Yes, this is how you get fluent in dog-human communication.
Yeah.
On a much deeper, nonverbal and, frankly, highly scientific level.
So let's jump right in with a behavior that I think is almost universally seen as just, profound attentiveness, but is actually a sign of some really intense cognitive effort.
Okay.
The head tilt.
Ah, the classic. You jingle your keys, or you whisper the forbidden word, walk, and bam, you get that perfect, adorable, lopsided gaze. I always just assume they're trying to, adjust their ears to pinpoint where the sound is coming from.
And that's the simple explanation, but the research points to something much, much bigger, a higher level cognitive function. The head tilt is primarily related to processing meaningful speech stimuli.
Meaningful speech, so not just random noise.
Exactly. Studies show that dogs tilt their heads far more often when they hear familiar, relevant words like the name of a toy or dinner compared to when they hear us saying something random like, I don't know, facts about the Egyptian pyramids.
So the tilt is their brain physically going, wait, hold on, that word means something important. Let me focus on the content of that sound, not just the happy tone you're using.
Precisely. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. It connects canine cognition directly to ours. The tilt isn't random. It's not just left or right. Dogs show a significant right tilt bias.
A right tilt bias, what does that mean neurologically?
When they tilt their head to the right, that movement is consistent with heavy activation of the left cerebral hemisphere.
Whoa, stop right there. The left hemisphere. That's where humans process language content. Lexical processing. Are you saying a dog is firing up the same neurological hardware to decode our words?
That is exactly what we're saying. We call it left hemisphere lexical processing. It means when they hear a word they've assigned meaning to, they're engaging the part of the brain that's all about word recognition and content.
Just like we would.
Just like we would. The tilt is just the brain physically trying to optimize its audio and visual input to match that sound to a stored memory.
That is a powerful claim about interspecies communication. It goes so far beyond just tone of voice or basic training cues. Did the research find any other variables that influence this?
They did. They found some really compelling sex differences in attention. Specifically, neutered male dogs tilted their heads significantly more often than spayed female dogs did.
Why would that be? Are males somehow better at language?
Not necessarily better, but they are potentially presenting as more attentive in these interspecific social settings.
So in a human-dog conversation?
Yes. The research suggests this could reflect some subtle sex differences in how their brain prioritizes and processes social information within the family unit. The males might just be more overtly responsive to us trying to communicate with them through language.
Incredible. Okay, so if the head tells us about language and intent, let's go to the other end of the dog.
Yes.
Speaking of asymmetrical brain function,
Yeah.
let's talk about the directional tail wag.
Yes.
Everyone thinks a wag equals happy. Full stop.
And that is the biggest simplification we really need to retire. The tail wag is actually a highly sophisticated signal. It's a sign of directional emotional valence.
Okay, that's a big phrase. Break that down.
It's an observable physical manifestation of which brain hemisphere is currently driving the dog's emotional state.
So you can read their brain by watching their tail. Map it out for us.
Okay, so if the dog is feeling a positive emotion, excitement, confidence, maybe they see you, the left hemisphere is more activated. And that controls the muscles on the right side of the body.
So the tail wags to the right.
Vigorously to the right, a big, fast, right-sided wag.
And the opposite, if they're anxious or maybe a little scared?
If they perceive a threat or even just uncertainty, The right hemisphere of the brain activates, and that right hemisphere controls the muscles on the left side of the body.
Meaning the tail wags quickly and maybe tensely to the left.
Exactly, to the left. So you're not just looking at if the tail is wagging, but the angle, the speed, the direction. A quick right wag is like, hello, I'm confident. A quick left wag is more, I'm not so sure about this, proceed with caution.
Wow. So the tail moves from just a simple greeting to a genuine bioindicator of their internal state.
It's an involuntary neurobiological signal. If you learn to watch this closely, you can predict a dog's emotional trajectory just by looking at which side of their body the motion is on.
That's amazing, how the brain just instantly translates meaning into a head tilt and emotion into a tail wag.
Mm-hmm.
But let's shift from the neurological to something maybe a bit more primal.
Okay.
The frantic behavior after elimination, the post-poop kick.
Ah, yes. The classic frantic back leg kicking that just sends dirt and grass flying everywhere.
And everyone, myself included, always assumes they're trying to cover up their mess, like a cat.
Total misconception. This behavior has absolutely nothing to do with covering waste. It is a deliberate, highly evolved act of territory marking.
Okay.
And the key communication tool here isn't the waste itself, it's the paws.
The painted paw strikes again.
It really does. Dogs have these highly specialized scent glands located between the pads of their paws. When they scratch and scrape the ground with that kicking motion, those glands are stimulated and they release invisible specific pheromones.
So the chemical signal they're leaving behind is way more powerful than the visual sign.
Much more powerful, and it lasts a lot longer. These pheromones, these chemical messengers, they communicate status, gender, territorial claims. It's basically a billboard that says, I was here, I am dominant, this area is claimed.
That makes so much sense from a survival standpoint. You want your message to persist. Do certain breeds or personality types do this more?
They do. While all dogs have the glands, this is definitely more pronounced in high-energy dogs, dogs with stronger predatory drives, or ones that have more dominant social personalities. You see it a lot in border collies, Dobermans, dominant shepherds.
It's an assertion of status.
Absolutely.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move from a controlled chemical release to pure chaotic energy release. Zoomies.
Or the scientific term, FRAPs, frenetic random activity periods.
Which almost sounds like an emergency brake being deployed.
And in a way, it is. FRAPs are a clear and very healthy stress relief mechanism. It's a way to release a sudden buildup of excess energy. Think of it like a neurological reset button.
What causes that buildup? I always see it right after a bath.
That's the classic example. The dog's been confined, they're probably a little cold, definitely tense, all that nervous energy builds up, and the zoomie is the brain's immediate physical solution for offloading that stress.
So it's not just random craziness.
Not at all. We also see it after they've been in a crate for a while or a long car ride. It's a necessary physical and mental need being met. They're normalizing their aroused state.
So if you see your dog suddenly start spinning in circles and sprinting across the living room, you shouldn't try to stop them.
No, unless they're about to run into traffic, absolutely not. These episodes are short, a minute, maybe two, and they always end in that classic, exhausted, happy flop on the floor.
Right.
It's a mechanism for achieving homeostasis, a physical return to a relaxed state. Trying to stop them just keeps that arousal level high.
So they run until they've successfully dumped the excess neural charge. Okay, we've covered the brain, the primal instincts. Let's move into the home and talk about comfort and sleep, starting with the belly-up sleep.
Ah, yes, the complete inversion. They look so uncomfortable, but this position is biologically the ultimate expression of security.
Because they're exposing their stomach, all their vital organs.
Yeah.
It's the most vulnerable position possible for an animal.
Exactly. In a survival context, exposing your belly is lethal. So for a domestic dog to do this in the middle of your living room, they have an absolute profound level of trust in their environment.
And in their human companions.
Especially in their human companions, it is the ultimate sign of safety. They are signaling that they feel so comfortable they've completely switched off those ancient survival instincts. But there's also a powerful biological reason for this posture besides just trust.
Okay, what's that?
Temperature regulation.
How does sleeping on their back help them cool down?
Well, the dog's abdomen has a lot of surface area with sparse fur, and the blood vessels run close to the surface. It acts like a radiator, just shedding heat into the air. And since dogs primarily cool themselves by panting and through the glands in their paws, kicking their paws up into the air maximizes the heat loss from those key spots.
So if you see this on a hot day, They're just being really efficient engineers of their own body temperature.
It's a highly efficient multi-point cooling system.
That makes so much sense. Okay, speaking of comfort, let's move to the cuddler. The dog who absolutely must sleep on you or draped over another dog.
This behavior is a direct indicator of a very strong attachment bond, and it comes straight from puppyhood. They start life huddled together with their litter mates for warmth and security.
And when they come to us, that need is just transferred over.
It's transferred directly to the human.
Huh.
It's not just a cute habit, it's an emotional necessity. It confirms that the human is a secure social partner.
A secure base.
Exactly. In attachment theory, you are providing the secure base effect. The dog feels emotionally fulfilled, safe, and comforted by that physical contact. It reaffirms the safety of the bond, which lets them relax enough to drop into those deep sleep cycles.
It's good to know that when they're draped across your legs like a 100-pound paperweight, they're just confirming you're their emotional safe harbor.
That's a good way to put it.
Which brings us perfectly to our seventh and final sign, the deep dreamer. We all see it. The twitching paws, the muffled barks, the little paddling feet. Are they really reliving a chase?
They absolutely are. And neurology gives us the definitive answer here. Dogs experience the exact same sleep architecture as we do, including rapid eye movement sleep, REM sleep.
And REM is the biological marker for dreaming.
It's the definitive marker. Their brainwave patterns during this phase are virtually identical to a human's during a dream.
But why do they move so much more? I mean, when I dream I'm running, I stay still.
That is a fascinating difference, and it comes down to a tiny structure in the brainstem called the pons.
The pons.
The pons normally acts as a sort of temporary paralysis switch. It's an off switch for your major muscles during REM sleep to prevent you from, acting out your dreams. In dogs, that little structure is just temporarily less active during certain REM cycles.
So their internal paralysis switch is a little faulty, allowing the motor commands from their dream to actually reach their limbs.
Exactly. And researchers have confirmed they dream about very relevant doggy things. So they're often processing recent memories. A pointer might be dreaming of searching for game. A poodle might be chasing a phantom squirrel.
You're kidding.
Not at all. And there's a fun size difference in their sleep architecture.
Oh, tell us, does size matter for dreams?
It matters for frequency and length. Small dogs dream more frequently. A little toy poodle might pop into a short REM cycle every 10 minutes. But the dreams are very short.
And a big dog.
A big dog, like a St. Bernard, might wait 45 minutes between dreams, but those dreams will be much longer and more complex.
But what's the unified takeaway here? We've gone from brain lateralization and language all the way to pheromones and sleep. What does this all mean?
It means that every single quirky action, from that little head tilt to the post-poop kick, is a complex, coded message. It's rooted in millions of years of evolution and their incredibly rapid cognitive adaptation to living with us.
It's not just personality. It's not just learned tricks.
No, it's measurable, beautiful neuroscience. It confirms the profound level of their engagement with our world.
And if we bring it all the way back to that first, frankly, surprising data point about the head tilt, we've confirmed our dogs are processing our words using the same brain mechanisms, that left hemisphere lexical processing that we do.
And that just fundamentally deepens the whole concept of interspecies communication. It's not just about training cues or tone of voice. It confirms that the specific words we choose are central to their cognitive world.
Wow.
The genius of the domestic dog isn't just what they can be trained to do, it's how perfectly their ancient wolf brain has lateralized and adapted itself to decode the unique and, let's be honest, often nonsensical speech patterns of a human.
That is a profound thought to end on. And it leads perfectly to your algorithm spark, something for you to mull over. Since we know the head tilt is a sign of actively processing familiar words, pay attention next time. What is the single word in your house, is it walk, toy, dinner, maybe a person's name, that most reliably triggers a right-sided head tilt in your dog? That's the word that suggests peak lexical engagement for them.
Let us know what you find.
Share your findings. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the painted paw. Keep watching those paws and tails. They're communicating far more complex information than you know.